Takuto, wait a minute. Takuto, Avian, Beta hold an intervention by darts addiction. He didn't even show up. I guess not. It's time. It is time. Good day, good people. It is another fine day in the year of the Radiance. Toon Link Dave, Bravo Dave, Anomaly the Anomalicars, few know me as the man. Who's excited to see how this episode plays out because it is your OC free-for-all. And this is the one time this season that every OC sees each other. Every OC sees each other. OCCs. Wasn't expecting that, but what I did expect is the Dangan-lympics Hunger Games, and this is the deal. Clearly, all eyes on Team Monophony trying not to get last, or at least try not to tie for last. Or trying to tie for not, well, I guess technically last, but it would really be like third or fourth or whatever. However, we have all these OCs from all this season. Everyone's appeared 3 times and now it's time for their 4th, so let's see how this all plays out. We have everyone, including our champions, or champion, rather. Technically, our OC tag team champions won't be here unless chaos reigns. So let's see if chaos reigns. First and foremost, let's introduce everyone who's here. We have Team Monophony-1, Nathan and Yumiko. Team Monophony-2, Pietro and Arya. And Team Monophony-3, Legault and Jace. They were your singles competitors. And then for our tag teams, we have Waltz of the Roses, Iris and Romaz. Involved with him, who is back, Don and Lynn. And lastly, Subliminal, Lucas, and Hana. Onward to Team Monotaro's OC districts, we have Team Monotaro-1, Kara, and Panth. Team Monotaro-2, Verkle, and Kyra. And Team Monotaro-3, Helsing, and Tsubasa, as well as our tag teams, Close Inspection, Isamu, Katora, Dress Up Doll, Kitamura, and Sukhoi. And lastly, Method of Violence, Ashi, and Shush! You love to see it. Team Monosuke has Caslia, and Setsushi. I don't know why. Setsushi's been around for so long, and I rarely get tongue-tied on their name. Valerian and Momo, and then Saibigoyu and Amon. Onward to their tag teams, which include Undermine, Melody and Kino, Tipping the Scales, Andy and Felix, and Robo Research, Randobot and Rio, as well as your tag team Agents of Chaos, dating app Eva and Aurora. And that's where we start off with Team Monokid, Daruma and Sylvanas. We have Dimitri and Alex, and Stell and Kono Zushi. I believe we just call Kono. And then we see Forever Rivals, rather. Tengi and Beta, your former tag team champions Natsuki and Takuto, locked up. Twin Shot, Bartholomew, Boff, and Rion. And lastly, Undercover Custodian, Skyland, and Yoka. And thus we move on to Team Monodam, Pinto, and Kiyoshi. And then we also see Rose with Blue Cotton Ball, and Lena with Dorian. And then of course our tag teams, Voiced and Vogue sees Mika and Sumori. Doomsday Device sees Rei and Shiza. And lastly we see Gold Team because Gold Team rules. Avian Kagi. And Team Monokuma sees Murasaki and Tomoyashi. I'm sorry, not Murasaki and Tomoyashi. That's one person. Joey is also there, our OC Agent of Chaos. We have Amber and Tigra, Du and Yayoi, and our Champion of Champions, Kiku, with JFJ, someone who, once again, always the title trainer, never the title holder. And then we have, so look, usually we would have a certain someone else here in mind over Magic. But their creator said, oh, they've got something to do, so perhaps someone could take their place, and allowed me to choose who takes their place this episode. So I thought long and hard, and hopefully at this point Gentleman Thomas is properly banned. But you know who isn't? My guy, the best gentleman in the world! Gentleman Timothy will be teaming up with Hiriko today. Acknowledge Gentleman Timothy. He's that lad. Gentleman Thomas, he's some trash and he's banned. In fact, redact his name. Never say it again, I hope at this point. Hiriko, though. You got one heck of a tag team partner this time. Davy Jones's locker, Peggy, with Michi, and lastly, Brave Bird, Natasha, and Dave and... I guess live chat, how are you doing? You might be doing a little bit more chaotic in just a second. You know what this means. Will we be seeing 2 members of our OC Tag Team Champions come through in just a second? If my big old hands can type this password correctly, there we go. Because we get 2 roles. Now, here is the deal. Murasaki has successfully, essentially, avoided having Chaos reign this entire time. However, in 3, 2, 1, it's as big as it's gonna get. 33%. First, let's see if our tag team champions will be inserted in this episode. Will it be an unheard of event? Will they join? No. Which means they will technically be going on to the OC Tag Team Finale. Which is fascinating, but let's reset that bad boy. Will Murasaki be forced to defend that title one time extra this season, other than, of course, the finale? Let's find out. Could we see this wheel miss every single time, which would mean Joey gets inserted into the finale? Keep that in mind. Maybe that's been Joey's plan, or was the plan to rain chaos in the... No, it's apparently Joey's plan. No chaos today. Fascinating. Well, that's an easier edit, I guess. Our champions stay champions until the finale, however. I believe you know what that means. Make your picks first, second, and third, and this time your picks for first, second, and third are all very, very important. When you look at the OC bracket, and you do I want to? We'll save it for the end of the episode. But there are 3 spots left, and I wanted to keep those 3 spots left in, you know, spirit of the gold, silver, bronze. So the top 3 OCs from, you know, this episode, who are not already on the brackets. So let's say, I don't know, Legault, Jace, and Nathan finishing like 2nd, 4th, and 5th, and they're still like in the top 3 that have not finished highly enough, then they'll all be going on. Same goes with tag teams. Top 3 tag teams placing high enough where there's not already a tag team on the bracket is going to be some chaos to be brewed. So there's a lot of opportunity today. Usually it's just 1-on-1. Today there's so much opportunity. Even if it's not for gold, it's for a chance at gold. So let's see how you guys do with that. So let it be known, it's time. It is indeed time. So let's do it. Let's see it. I'm going to make my picks live chat. I know you have already made yours. Give me Andy tipping the scales for first. I don't know why. It just feels like that time. For second, I'm gonna take my janitor Skyland. Bad luck, negative cancel out, you know? I'm thinking good luck. And for third, I gotta take me. Because, you know, if you haven't heard, Gold Team rules. That's all I got. Without further ado, I think it's time we start this thing, correct? And you know the only way to start this thing is to... Huh. Pablo. It is good to see you. One can only hope that Saturday solved all of our problems. You guys know if Saturday solved all of our problems. I hope. I hope. But for right now, Pablo, We had to leave it all in the hands of you-know-who. Let's see if you-know-who did it. Well, that's a 1. That doesn't bode especially well. Huh. Well, hopefully that 1 isn't terrible foreshadowing, because 1s usually signify bad things happening on this channel, so I guess we'll just give it a singular 1. And start this thing. Oh no. Oh my. Well, let's see how this goes. Let's hope for the best, and let's just go and not have terrible times. Good luck to all of the OCs. Let's see how this plays out from the top. It is a bloodbath, and the tributes, they sound their horns. No, they don't. They don't do it. All the tributes in the line sounding the horns. No, that's not what we do. The horn bearers do that. So. Horn bearers, thank you for always being there. And I am now seeing that my jinx does not cancel out with bad luck, apparently, because Natsuki takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Ashi overpowers Skyland, killing him. Well, I mean, look, they're already, you know, on the bracket, so we're good. Backed by unpopular Ben Kiku. Fun fact, a group of alligators is called a congregation. Tinky wants to be a preacher. I don't know if I would trust Tinky as a preacher. Let's a congregation of alligators loose in the arena. That sounds pretty chaotic though. Lin breaks that Sushi's known for a basket of bread. Rose is possessed by Asner of the 39th dimension. Watch out. Hana runs away from the cornucopia. Barth finds a 64-pack of Crayola crayons inside of the cornucopia. Kyra, rather. Pietro convinces Pietro, Tsubasa, Sylvanos, JFJ, and Kagi to boycott the killing games. Me. That's me! Runs away from the cornucopia. Kono runs away as well, so does Ryu and Peggy. Saibigyo doesn't realize rather dying doesn't mean anything, this endless cycle of despair, so she's gonna live it up this game. Sukhoi seals Arya inside of an explosive barrel, rolls it over to Mika, then shoots, and Mika dies in the explosion, but somehow Arya makes it out unscathed. Well, I'll be. That's the power of having a twin, I suppose. Michi runs away from the cornucopia. Randobot runs away as well. Dimitri finds Romas hiding in the cornucopia and kills him. Rest in peace, Valerian. Steps on accidentally steps on a landmine, blows up in a million itty-bitty pieces. Nathan finds a model cornucopia in the cornucopia, and Tigra runs away. Fair enough. Murasaki finds a model cornucopia in the cornucopia too. She's beholding it with Nathan. Look at this tiny cornucopia inside the cornucopia. Who would have thunk? Who would have seen such a thing? Takuto runs away from the cornucopia. Dio finds Lena in the cornucopia, but Lena kills him. Goodness gracious, Dio, oh no. Katora stays in the cornucopia for resources. Kino spots his most prized possession hidden amongst the supplies. He goes to grab it, but Shush reaches it first. Shiza stabs Rion while his back is turned. Amber finds a torn photo of Dawn within her pocket, the word friend scribbled on the back. Every time I see this event, actually, what is the Toy Story song that's friend? I am a friend, you see. No, you've got a friend in me. There it is. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. I've got a friend, you see. It sounds really funny. I've got a friend, you see. And they're a friend to me. Did you know that I've got a friend? Oh, I've got a friend, you see. You know what, I think my new thing is just singing Disney songs with the wrong words, but very close to the right words. Andy gets down on Rundy, proposes to Yumiko, they accept, and the two happily skip away from the cornucopia. At least one of my picks has found happiness instead of death. Warms my heart. Kitamura runs away from the cornucopia. Virko finds a torn photo of Dave with the word friend scribbled on the back. Oh, I've got a friend, you see. Here's a Pokemon. Okay, we're done. Beta finds Haruko in the cornucopia and kills her, and that's, that is unfortunate. Dorian refuses to believe that any of this is real. Aurora runs away, so does Kara. Felix and Joey immediately become friends. Oh, I've got a friend, you see. Isamu and Lucas fight for her back. Lucas strangles Isamu with the ropes, straps rather, and runs. Jeez Louise. Natasha and Melody run away from the cornucopia. Daruma and Blue Cotton Ball fight each other, but end up killing one another. Goodness gracious. Zumori and Eva engage in a friendly knife fight. So many people. Goodness gracious, perishing. Amon and Stell invite Ray, Legault, Kaslia, Kiyoshi, Momo, Panth, Iris, and Jace to a party. A super kick party. Amon and Stell hit everyone with sweet chin music one after another, kicking all their heads clean off. Tim falls into a pit and dies. Not Gentleman Timothy, everyone. A special saddest of all moments, or Claire de Lune 4. Gentleman Timothy. But I digress. Pinto finds a teleporter, teleports them right behind 8. Oh, what's up, little guy? Alright, you go back to the game now, okay? Alright. Stay alive. I'm rooting for you. Boy, what a good little homie. Yayoi and Alex fight Yoko and Helsing. Yayoi and Alex survive, surprisingly enough. I was like, oh my goodness, that's Yoko fighting, but you know what? Already on the bracket. But we're on to day 1, and we already have lost quite a few souls, as Kono offers to sell his friendship to Alex. Dorian does a sick kickflip. Sick! The rating pistol rates Kyra 84 points. Fair enough. Dimitri, Stel, and Pietro hold an intervention for my pancake addiction. I show up, I say don't care, didn't ask plus ratio, and eat some pancakes on my way out. Joey, Amon, and Don discuss the killing life so far. Couture sees smoke rise in the distance, decides not to investigate. Aura sets off an explosive, taking out Natasha and JFJ. Sylvonos kills Randobot for their supplies. Not Randobot. Kino violently shakes a tree to knock loose some fruit. Shiza shoots an arrow at Rose, but it misses and kills Eva instead. Saibigoi overhears Lucas and Nathan talking in the distance. Scandalous. Kiku accidentally blurts out the fact that she likes Pinto in a non-platonic way. Pinto accepts the accidental confession, wholeheartedly Yayoi. And Kitamura splurges search for resources. Satsushi freaks out completely upon seeing a painting of dogs playing poker. Amber falls into a bit but somehow lives. Barth and Natsuki want to raise the bar. In fact, they are the bar. Dave drives up to Maki Donald's. You can't drive, Dave. Get out of here. Tinky puts on a pair of stutter shades, unless there's like Dave on the steering wheel, kind of like walking on it, turning back and forth, and then Bravo's on the brakes, and Toon Link is on the accelerator. I don't know who has the gear shift. Anomaly. Together, they can drive. I hate it. Tinky puts on a pair of stutter shades, increasing the aesthetic level tenfold, making Hana and Tigra envious. Lena goes now to an Oashi. Michi tries to sneak attack Felix, but he catches on and runs away. Yumiko, Arya, and Andy join the Adventurers Guild. Are assigned roles based on their stats. Yumiko is the righteous knight, Arya is the wise and wizard, and Andy is a janitor. Melody sprains her ankle while running away from Sukhoi. Tsubasa is making Shush angry. Tsubasa's not gonna like Shush when he's angry. Lin finds Shuichi's hat and puts it on. Kagi dies of dysentery. Takuto, wait a minute. Takuto, Avi, and Beta hold an intervention for my darts addiction. He didn't even show up. I guess not. Burkle finds a water gun, fills it up with holy water, fires it at Kara, getting him wet. Ryu does a sick kickflip. Sick! Sumori finds an explosive. I'm sorry. Yes, an explosive. Not an explosive barrel, just an explosive. What kind? We'll never know. Or maybe we will. From an unknown sponsor, Murasaki finds a bottle of poison. From an unknown sponsor, and Peggy's confused why there's a pink Home Depot in the arena. I think we all are. And is there any sort of arena event? There's not, but we did indeed lose 26 competitors. That is a good chunk of our field today after we had a Claire de Lune 4. Skyland, Mika, Romaz, Valerian, Du, Rion, Hiriko, Isamu, Daruma, Blue Cotton Ball, Ray, Legault, Kaslia, Kiyoshi, Momo, Panth, Iris, Jace, Gentleman Timothy, Yoko, Helsing, Natasha, JFJ, Randobot, Eva, Kagi. I knew I should have put in Brock Lesnar. We'll see everybody's statuses. Which, if it would click, there we go. I admittedly missed one. Team Monophagy still could sweep. They've only lost 4 people, but they're gonna need to get it together and keep as many people in as possible. Team Monotaro still has, well, let's see how many people are alive first before we really go through everybody. 52. Still larger than twice, still more than twice as large, rather, of a standard sized game. So we'll do a slow scroll. Peek all these OCs who are still in. It's your top 52. Much like a deck of cards. But who will walk out with a spot on that bracket? Well, I think it's time we find out, don't you? Let's do so right here, right now. Right here, right now. Yeah? Yeah. We'll proceed, see how it goes. Night 1 sees Lucas watching a new Mischief of Rats, but then runs off before they get any ideas. Fair enough, huh? Barf sets up a few traps before going to camp for the night. That That was me breathing. Dimitri suddenly falls over dead. I guess it was a weird breath. Aurora locks Amon in a coffin and buries him alive. Amon manages to escape. Hand coming through the coffin, much like an undead, but he's still very much alive. Avi. Peggy and Kyra enter a scrum with Kara, Dorian, and Natsuki. They argue over rather who the best boy in Dangan-lympics is. Tiger gets hold of my soundboard and plays the banger that is the secret achievement music, which we haven't heard much at all this season, but it'll be back. Don't you fret. Nathan has a fever dream while sleeping. He wakes up to Kyoko standing over him. Pinto, Yayoi, invade Tengi's shelter but fall victim to the booby traps in place. Pinto, Yayoi, no! Tengi. Feeling a little chaotic today, not failing it in the slightest right now. Shoosh, stop being selfish. Sabigoyu dyes her hair green. Green and purple, not really a great combination. Wait. That's not my favorite part. When we get to my favorite part, I'm gonna stop and we're gonna jam for just a second. Dawn finds his sketch after a little bit. She makes a picture of Felix, erases it. Felix is erased from existence. Michi hops into an inflatable cauldron, makes jokes about how she's emergency food. She might have a problem. Kono, Kiku, and Rose play a game of Monopoly. Kono loses all of his property, flips the game board over. Joey finds a stereo, presses play, and plays some sick beats. And you know what those 6 beats are? Well, let's listen in for a second. That's still not my favorite part. Tsubasa goes to Avi's wares and despairs, gets caught stealing. Verkle, the worker there, notices and stabs Tsubasa before he can get away. You fiend. Stealing from Avi's. Murasaki develops an irrational fear of Ryu after having a nightmare about him. Lin and Andy pose off. They have one, and Lin wins. Sylvanos, Yumeko, and Shiza enter a scramble with Lina, Beta, and Katura over which is better, the squad or the entourage. The answer, it is quite obvious here. Is the squad. It always will be. But they can put aside their differences and work together, because that is what being a faction is all about. Maybe. A starving Satsushi trades nearly half her supplies for Melody's loaf of bread. Arya challenges AV in battleship. I sink Arya's battleship. I don't sink my own battleship. Maybe I will. Stell breaks Minecraft rule number 1 and digs straight down. Shockingly finds diamonds, and to celebrate we'll go. This is the part. This is the part I like a whole bunch. It's that part is I gotta lick every finger after that one. Sumori and Hana take some pictures of Aurora Borealis before going to bed for the night. Amber, Ashi, and Alex sit around the campfire and sing the campfire song. Despite Kono's desperate begging, Kitamura decides to leave his campsite. Pietro is so desperate to kill Sayaka, creates a clone of Sayaka and had. You know what, Pietro? I acknowledge that. There's no Sayaka in this game. There was for a second when you created a clone, but you killed it, so you know what? Good job. I would be terribly afraid if someone created a clone of Sayaka and it got away. That would be a disaster. Dave finds a secret stash of pancakes that Avi's hypothetically hinted at. Thinking quickly, Takuto creates a homemade gun using only some string, a squirrel, and a gun, and Tsukoi dyes her hair yellow. We are down to day 2 as Kino, Avi, and Sabigoyu do the torture dance while torturing Shiza. Nathan holds Michi's head underwater, but Michi grabs his arm, pulls him into the lake with her. Both troopers are unable to kill one another, so they simply swim away. Stell and Dave are having a picnic on a cliff. Stell uses this chance to push Dave off a cliff, but he's not a flying type. Dave, no! No! Tragic. Joey beats Rose with a steel chair. Natsuki works for Avi's and is sick and tired of so many people defecting Yoko's, so she burns it down. Luckily, Takuto, who works there, brought insurance last week. Natsuki screams in anger. I still acknowledge you for that, Natsuki. Sukhoi wonders what events are canon to the Danganronpa Hunger Games lore. Satsushi, Tenki, and Andy make homemade weapons. Lin, Kyra, and Tigra corner Beta are about to kill her when suddenly pulls out a grappling hook, escapes. Alex decides to do Amber's free time event. Alex thinks that she's gotten closer to Amber today. Melody wakes up from a long nap. Whole bunch of stretching going on. Kiku's freeze ray stops time. It isn't an ice beam though, that's too barf to her, for her taste rather. Verko commits a crime and runs away giggling. Kitamura receives medical supplies from a mysterious man dressed as a wizard. Don hangs up missiles on the arena. Hana feigns death, tricking Arya into ignoring her. Peggy starts hanging up missiles in the arena, but Murasaki swoops in, snaps her arm, burns the mistletoe. Ashi was being a clown. Lucas steals from Shush while they aren't looking. Kono and Sylvanos play tricks on Amon while Yumeko steals from his room. Aurora prepares the museum for my artwork. Well, I guess it's actually past AV Mania 2, which you haven't seen. I'm sure it's probably got some bangers. It's AV Mania 2, it's gotta. Dorian joins the Mistletoe Warriors, a group that's waging war against the Mistletoe during any other month besides December. Ryu starts planting seedlings in his garden. Sumori, Katora, and Kara discussing their lives so far, and Lena tries to steal Avi's pancakes, but Pietro caught and killed her to thank Pietro for the heroic deed, and you know what? I do appreciate that, Pietro, and you're going to the World Pancake Championship for it. Proud of you. Get in there. As we proceed, we lost. Not that many. Yeah, just 7 this time. It's a slow grind after that terrible, terrible bloodbath in this terrible, terrible Claire de Lune 4. Dimitri, Pinto, Yayoi, Felix, Tsubasa, Dave, Lena. But, even though these competitors are out, let it be known, rather, that there's still that Agent of Chaos episode. Get into that top 12 there. Boom. You're right back in there. Right back in championship contention. But for right now, let's see everybody's statuses. We still have, from Team Monophony, Nathan, Yumiko, Pietro, Don, Lin, Lucas, and Hana. From Team Monotaro, Kara, Verkle, Kyra, Katura, Kitamura, Sukoi, Ashi, and Shush. From Team Monosuke, we have Satsushi, Saibigoyu, Amon, Melody, Kino, Andy, and Ryu. Still going strong, Team Monosuke. And Aurora. Don't forget Aurora. Team Monokid still has Sylvanos, Alex. This entire row, my gosh, good on them. It is Team Monokid, what did I expect? They also have Barf. Team Monodam still has Rose, Dorian, Sumori, Shiza, me. And Team Monokuma still has Murasaki and Joey, Amber, Tigra, our not OC champion, our champion, Kiku, Peggy, and Michi. And that's it. At this point, it is still really a matter of, we gotta get down fewer and fewer to see how this all plays out for our points. So let's see, let's proceed with the action night 2. Shush, dyes their hair purple. That might not be a bad look. I feel like purple is a very Shush color. Murasaki and Pietro discuss that a big red stone is a rock or a boulder. Yumiko stabs Kino through the heart. Yumiko walks away unsatisfied. Yumiko, oh my gosh. Apparently we have some violence going on. Ryu's trap kills Sukoi. Dorian challenges Verkle to a dance-off. Dorian absolutely dominates, rather. Beta has a fever dream, Kyoko standing over them. Avi forces Katura to kill Dawn or Kara. She chooses to kill Kara. Rest in peace to Kara. Joey, Kono, and Natsuki enter a scrum debate with Peggy, Lucas, and Aurora. They argue over what would be... Oh my gosh, Avi did that. Wait a minute. Hey, you know what? We'll continue. They argue over what would happen first. Avi no longer making typos or Kanji getting a W. Both of those, honestly, have calmed down. Kanji's been getting W's, and Avi has no longer been making too many typos. Tigra loves all the V3 survivors equally. Maki, Himiko, and Saki. Sylvanos cuts off both of Kiku's arms, but still holding the title somehow. Stell, Kitamura, and Satsushi comment on what they find nice about one another to improve the mood. Kotoko and Kotoka introduce Saibigoyu to their long-lost twin, Kokoto. Michi and Rose and Amon play a game of script poker. One thing leads to another, and they end up burying Rose's body in the courtyard. Oh my gosh. Arya and Shiza stare into one another's eyes. Through the crackling of their campfire, the thought of murder on their minds. Kyra, Ashi, Lin, and Alex track down and kill Sumori. Rest in peace, Andy. Exploits Melody's kindness and has her do various humiliating tasks for him. Takuto, rather. Introduces Nathan, and Tingy to his imaginary friend. There's nobody there. Hana wants Avi to give Barf a chance. I love Barf. Our Archer of Infamy. Love that man's, actually. Amber finds a secret stash of pancakes that I was hinting at. Good on you. Hana, at the start of day 3, uses a spell to suck the intelligence out of Joey, rather. The spell fails because there's nothing to suck out. Dorian kills Kiku with a sickle. Not the champion. Tiger finds a gun filled with holy water. Fires it at Kono. Surprisingly, Kono screams in pain before he disappears. Oh my gosh, I guess it was... There's a lot to read in on this one. The vampire finds a gun full of holy water. fires it at Kono. Interesting. Katura tracks in and kills Arya. Kitamura declares his support to the squad. This summons Pimp Kazuichi to stab Kitamura. Kazuichi. Feel like we should be on good terms at this point. To stab Kitamura like he did with Pablo. Cover your eyes, Pablo. Kaira sees Satsushi holding a meeting with Andy, Stell, and Yumeko. Melody sees a completely pale Amber wash ashore unmoving. Melody revives her with CPR, but doesn't stop when Amber regains consciousness. Shush kills Amon while he's resting. Not during sleep. Verkle, Ashi, and Aurora hold an inventory for my pancake addiction. I didn't show up, because I'm down there eating dirt. Anyway, Lucas, Murasaki, and Beta corner Pietro, but he pulls out a grappling hook and escapes Lin. Her unknown sponsors, Raid Shadow Legends. Avi eats dirt. Don, Michi, and Tinky hold an inventory for my pancake addiction. This time I did show up with my dirt, says don't care, didn't ask, plus ratio, and takes another spoonful of dirt and says, that's got minerals in it. Yeah. Ryu steps on a Lego brick wall barefoot, shrugged off the pain. Alex's unknown sponsors, Asner of the 39th Dimension, who is hopefully better now. Nathan falls into a pit and dies. Sylvanos performs the Northern tradition of making clothes for Barth 5 minutes after they meet. Natsuki hangs up missiles in the arena. Peggy exclaims not the Naegis for no reason in particular. Saibigoyu finds a water gun filled with holy water fires like Takuto getting him wet. And Shiza finds Shuichi's hat and puts it on. We lost 11 this time. I was going to say a little bit more than last time as we start to step deeper into this game after this. Claire de Lune 4. Kino, Sukoi, Kara, Rose, Sumori, Kiku, Kono, Arya, Kitamura, Amon, Nathan. Let's peek at those statuses real quick. We have, from Team Monophony, Yumeko, Pietro, Don, Lin, Lucas, and Hana. They are down to 6. They need 3 to sweep to tie for not last. Team Monotaro, they are down to Verkle, Kyra, Katura, Ashi, and Shush. They're down to just 5, surprisingly enough. Team Monosuke has Satsushi, Saibigoyu, Melody, Andy, Ryu, and Aurora. They are also down to 6, indeed. As we go to Team Monokid, they have Sylvanos, Alex, almost this entire row, minus Kono. So I'll say Stell, Tingy, Beta, Natsuki, Takuto, and Barf. As we go to Team Monodam, we see Shiza, Avi, and Dorian. We are down to 3. But you know what? We can do it. I believe in us. Team Monokuma still has Murasaki and Joey. They're still both alive. Amber and Tyre, they're still both alive as well. And all of Davy Jones's locker, they're alive as well. Very cool. Very cool indeed. But I have no idea how many people are left. 34. 10 more into our standard sized game, but part of me feels like this round is not gonna be light on the KOs at all. I think this is where things get a little bit crazy. Let's find out if it is. As night 3 begins, Peggy gets hold of my soundboard within the hour. They are struck down for using copyrighted music. Saibigoyu, Shiza, Katura, and Takuto play a friendly game of Uno to the death, in which Shiza wins, so everyone else perishes. And now with a single Uno reverse card in sight, Murasaki receives Yakiniku from an unknown sponsor. Hana and Sylvanos have opposed off. Sylvanos wins. Lucas dies to her yellow. Dorian forces Avi to kill Verkle or Tiger. He decides to kill Verkle. My gosh. How the tables have turned. First, I was the one forcing someone else to do it, and now it is I. Now I know how it feels. Shush gets killed and replaced by a realistic doll made in their image. Natsuki finds a virus in the simulator and is killed by it. Michi attempts to sneak into the back rooms of Yoko's items and misfortunes, gets seen by Don, an employee of the store. Don, how could you? Aurora finds a sleeping Barf laying on the ground, raises her hand, waves it in front of her face, saying, "You can't see me," falling to the ground, punching Barf in the face. Ryu, especially kind of night, gives Ashi a muffin. Lin finds my soundboard and plays something absolutely glorious. Glorious indeed. However, we must keep going. Yumiko's obnoxious snoring renders Satsushi and Alex unable to sleep. Melody's allergies keep her up all night. I feel that Kyra fears Yuta. In fact, she fears all the Asahinas. Pietro look, At this point, we have to acknowledge Pietro. So desperate to kill Sayaka again, creates another clone out of Sayaka and kills that clone again. Acknowledge him. Twice in an episode and earn entry into the World Pancake Challenge. Pietro, you're a real one. Amber receives an explosion from an unknown sponsor, rather. Joey disowns Andy for being a disgrace to the family. My gosh. Beta screams into the void, and Stell wants to speak with the manager of AV's Wares and Despairs. Will proceed to day 4. I receive a first aid kit from the comments section. Thank you, guys. Thanks for doing your part. You sure are smart. Dorian goes on a serial balloon popping spree. My gosh, Don doesn't want to live on this planet anymore. Michi starts to go insane. Fair enough. Aurora sees a gift from Secret Admirers, a box of chocolates. Andy kills a Tingy with a shot put ball. Tingy. Beta wonders what events are canon to the Danganronpa Hunger Games lore. Ryu, Melody, and Hana receive report cards evaluating their game today. Ryu gets an A, Melody gets a C, and Hana gets a big fat F. Amber is trying to overthrow AV, fails miserably, and is murdered by a frantic AV as a result. So I can't control my frantic hands when they get all frantic. Yes, no, murder. Actually, it's supposed to be magic, but this one's the magic hand, this one's the murder hand. We love our M hands, don't we? Joey finds a secret stash of pancakes that Evie's hypothetically hinting at. Stell, Peggy, and Shush argue for what ingredients to buy for the arena supermarket from Evie's Wares and Despairs, the best one of all time. Pietro cleans his kitchen with a new kitchen gun. Lucas and Kyra hunt for other tributes. Tiger wants to be a stepping stone for everyone else. Murasaki unknowingly eats toxic berries, rest in peace. Natsuki wakes up and immediately finds an invitation to the World Pancake Championship match, and for that, I will add your name to the list, but it's a good list, so you know it's gonna be good. Natsuki. As we go on, Barf throws sand into the eyes of Sylvanos, calling them to go temporarily blind for the rest of the game. Ice does a kickflip, but fails, landing falls flat on their face. Alex shows Yumiko her murder list. At the top is Yumiko's name, it's in bold too. Shisa dies from an infection, rest in peace. Satsushi's allergies are so bad, she sneezes the arena back to April, and Lynn receives a hatch from an unknown sponsor. We lost just 8. Just 8 more, so that brings us to 26 after this. Claire, Daylune 4. Saibigoyu, Katora, Takuto, Verkle, Tingy, Amber, Murasaki, Shiza. We'll see everybody's statuses. We are down to still 6 for Team Monophony. Team Monotaro actually down to 3. Team Monosuke down to 4. 5. I can count. Aurora always trips me up, so I was like, oh yeah, these two rows, and then all of a sudden, hey, I'm still here. Team Mono Kid down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Me and Dorian still holding down the fort for Team Monodam, and lastly we see Team Monokuma down to just 3, 4 after this round. 26 remain. We're stepping very close to saving Grace Pick's territory. Let's get even closer as we proceed. We see Lynn and Aurora get into a submission match. Lynn is locked in Aurora's ankle lock, the AAL. Lynn taps out and must leave the arena, just like hobbling over. Peggy fears Yuta. In fact, she fears all the Asahinas. Dorian finds a Dark Dave in the arena, attacks him, bites him straight through the heart, and kills him. I am somehow the last remaining person from Team Monodam. Alright, let's do work. Joey sets up camp for the night. Pietro and Yumiko start prepping for Spooky Month by doing the Spooky Dance, which is honestly closely approaching. Ryu sets up camp for the night. Tiger and Kyra have a pose-off. Tiger wins. Andy and Satsushi fight Melody and Barf. Andy and Satsushi survive. Melody and Barf, no. Rest in peace to the both of them. Shush walks into a portal, turns it on, gets shocked and killed. The ghostly howls of Ashi. No, the ghostly howls of wolves wakes up Ashi, but I'm sure Ashi has some ghostly howls too. Alex, Natsuki, Lucas enter a scramble with Sylvanos, Don, and Hana. They argue what would happen first, Waffles getting a chance, or rematching Thomas. Well, hopefully, Thomas is banned from the channel. So probably Waffles. Michi finds an Etch-a-Sketch somehow, breaking in frustration. Stell watches the new mischief of rats runs by, runs off, runs before they get any ideas. Oh no! Oh yeah! Avi gets captured by our repairman and is never seen or heard from again. Well, ain't that delightful? Unless he's also gone from the AWA. But maybe he's still creeping around in here if he is, right? Beta gets distracted and we must proceed to day 5. It started with an alien device. Do you know what? Yeah, we'll go for it. Play the music too. Now let me tell you a story. It started when an alien device did what it did. It stuck itself upon her wrist with secrets that it hid. Now she's got superpowers. She's no ordinary kid. She's Beta 10. And if you see her, you might be in for a big surprise. I'm done. We're gonna keep going. She will turn into an alien before your very eyes, though. It would seem that Pietro and Satsushi have come to a standstill in Tarzan's forest. Lucas wishes for immortality and is promptly executed, disqualified for cheating. Avian confuses Dawn for Hilda. Now look, they both have some pink in their hair. Easy peasy. They both probably work for the Mafia, I'll be frank. Natsuki finds a bow and ties it on because of bow tie and puts it on rather because bow ties are cool. Aurora drinks cactus juice and starts to hallucinate. Ryu puts on a pair of radical shades, sets a one light and puts on a second pair of radical shades on top of the first pair. Coolness levels are so high, Yumiko dies from the exposure. Joey camouflages himself in the bushes. Michi, Tigra, Hana, Stell, Alex, and Andy have a scrum debate over who the best protagonist is. Kai receives a first aid kit from the comment section. Peggy is the king of Five Nights of Freddy's. Ashi and Sylvanos, who grievously injure each other, have to nurse each other back to health to proceed with the fight. And as we proceed, another 8 are gone. That brings us down to 18. Yeah, 18. So we'll probably see maybe the feast next time, but for right now, we're just seeing a Clear Alien 4. Lynn, Dorian, Melody, Barf, Shush, Avi, Lucas, Yumiko. So now that we're at 18, we're actually getting into some tricky territory with who's left. Because, as I view these brackets real quick, we do have some people who are in already, who are already on the bracket, like Davy Jones's Locker. They're on the bracket already. I'm just looking at teams right now, Locked Up. They're on the bracket already. Forever Failures are not on the bracket already. So they could use this opportunity as we keep on keeping on. Dating App are not on the bracket and they have Rain Chaos, so they would need to claim one of those 3 spots. Tipping the Scales are on the bracket. Robo Research are not on the bracket yet, so they could use that opportunity. And then Subliminal are on the bracket. Involved with Him are not, so I think we actually might have the top 3 teams. Method of Violence, though, are not on the bracket, so we'll see how it plays out. But for right now, in terms of singles, it's a little bit trickier. It's not all that tricky. Satsushi's not on the bracket. Pietro's not on the bracket. Kyra is not on the bracket. Sylvano's not on the bracket. Alex not on the bracket. We have a lot of singles persons rather that are not on the bracket. Joey is technically on the bracket because did not Rain Chaos, and Tiger's not on the bracket either. So we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. See where our cards lie after this round. We're very close in terms of tag teams if we're not already there. I think they would just be the ones we have to watch are Forever Failures, Robo Research, Method of Violence, yeah, and Involved with Him, because Subliminal's already there. So those are your top 4. Whichever one of them are out next, well, the other 3 go on. So we'll proceed and we'll see Dawn finally finishes her novel. Pietro develops an irrational fear of Beta after having a nightmare about her. Stell, who works at Yoko's, is sick and tired of people from Avi's burning it down, so she burns down Avi's wares and despairs. I'll remember that. Stell, I will remember that. Peggy and Aurora become best friends after their shared love of 17th century sea shanties. Ryu finds a dark Dave in the arena, befriends it. Joey steals my soundboard, is about to play something, but Satsushi kills Joey before he has a chance. Satsushi then gives me the soundboard. Satsushi, you've been here for a minute and you're a real one. Kyra says a swear word. Alex covers Michi's ears. Sylvanos is rather obnoxious snoring murders Hana and Andy and Ashi unable to sleep. Natsuki was too cute for this world and ascends to a different plane of existence. Godspeed. Tigra gets a hold of my soundboard before she can use it. She gets caught and disqualified by Avi. Look, Tigra, you can't just steal my soundboard. It's where I play all my sounds from. Get out of here, why don't you? We'll proceed. And we have the feast, and it feels like a larger set for the feast with a cornucopia replenished with food, weapons, and remarks from the tributes families. Dawn invites Stell to an unforgettable luncheon. While making steamed clams, Dawn sets the oven on fire, therefore the house on fire, burning both Dawn and Stell to death. My gosh. Peggy decides not to attend the feast. Andy is also like, nope, no thanks. Setsushi gathers as much food in bed before, as she can rather before fleeing. Sylvanos does the same. Ashi discovers all the lore on Slugmaface. Her life is now complete. Hana stabs Kyra in the back with a trident. Rest in peace to Kyra. Ryu decides not to go. Beta sets out an explosive, killing Michi, Alex, and Pietro, and Aurora bleeds out due to untreated injuries. We are at an interesting point here in the game. An interesting point indeed. As we proceed, Peggy, like, we only have a few people left. It's definitely saving race picks time, and we are seeing some people perishing as well. In fact, we are down to just a few, just a handful. Peggy turns into a Fall Guys being that may or may not be a death event. In an effort to survive, Ashi tries to strangle Andy. It is 2-ply and is enough to kill Andy. Beta finds the left half of Sylvanos' body, so Sylvanos is out of this ring. Ryo stabs Hana while her back is turned, and Setsushi dies from hunger. I think we're just down to Beta, Ryu, and Ashi. And maybe Peggy. As we proceed, I was gonna say we could also see an arena event, but we are down to just 4 after we lost 14 from our 18. It is the last Claire de Lune of the episode 4. Joey, Natsuki, Tigra, Dawn, Stell, Kyra, Michi, Alex, Pietro, Aurora, Andy, Sylvanos, Hana, Setsushi. So first, let's peek at everything that's going on here. Dawn was the first one of the teams out that we were talking about, so the other 3 teams, I believe, go on. And we'll discuss that a little bit later. Davy Jones's locker, they were already out, or rather already in, correct? Yeah, they were already in. As we scroll down, Dating App needed it, so they are in. Tipping the Scales did not, Subliminal did not, and as we share everybody's statuses, we only have 4 left. Team Anophany Sweep, impossible now because everyone's dead. Which means Method of Violence, Robo Research, and we only have teams left, so that makes it real easy. We have Method of Violence, Robo Research, and Forever Failures all going on. However, we can go back to our Fallen Tributes and dictate who is going on for the singles then. So it would be Setsushi, a classic. It would be Sylvanos, formerly known as June, this is the Ascended form, and it would be Pietro, just barely. Yeah, just barely. Good on, because Pietro's been having a grand game, so I am happy for that. Good on you, Pietro. That being said, I do believe it's time for a little bit of new picks, because you might need some, because there's only like 4 people left, so how about we make them together, you and me. I thought it was going to be Avi to do the thing, but it wasn't, but I digress. It's time for your Saving Grace picks. Let's scroll on, let's scroll down. We see Method of Violence Ashi, former tag team champion, wants to do it again, this time with Method of Violence, and I'll tell you what, can't do it today, but is going on to the finale. Wants to get that momentum by winning the free-for-all. Robo Research, they have held the tag team titles before too. They were co-champions, this time they want to do it all by themselves. Carrying on for Randobot, once again, they have this sort of like, I'll carry on for you, you carry on for me energy. The Robo Research have become the best of friends. Forever Failures did not fail today. They got their objective and they're going on to the tag team finale. But will Beta secure the bag and never be called a failure again by taking the victory? And lastly, but not leastly, Peggy, Davy Jones' locker, the only team here that's on the bracket. Peggy has had kind of all-star games before. Will this just be another one? Another coin in the treasure chest of achievements for Peggy? I don't know, but make your saving grace picks known right here, right now. Let's see it all go down. What do I got? Well, let me talk to you. Live chat, you've already made your picks. I'm gonna say Ryu for first, just because, I don't know. Robo Research is always kind of, they've quickly become like, oh my gosh, look at them together. I'm gonna pick them for first, just for the feel-good moment. I'm gonna take Forever Failures for second, because I feel like getting so close but so far seems about right for them, but they will be going to the finale, so who cares at this point. Method of Violence or Davy Jones' locker. I'm gonna say a Method of Violence, just so I can yell shoosh. My voice is like semi on the mend, so we'll say shoosh. It's also so good that I'll be like out of town on this like mini vacation, because then my voice will just be like, oh yeah, let's heal it up, let's soothe it up. Let's see it. Those are my picks. You guys have made yours too, and I'll tell you what, we don't get Samurai Woman today, but it is Ashi, Ryu, Beta, and Peggy all kind of what we like to call, within our final 5, a crisis of fate. Let's see how this plays out. It could all play out right now. It's just 4 competitors left, and it almost does play out because now we're down to 3. Peggy shoots an arrow into Beta's head. Forever failure. You hate to see it. Doesn't even get a medal. Oh man, just misses out on the medals too. Peggy, Ashi, and Ryu. Ashi finishes about season 7, and Ryu sets up camp for the night. We are down to just 3, which brings us down to just 1 because it is all over now. That might be the power of the Jinx, baby. It may be the power of the Jinx, the one that I did not say it does claim the victory, but you know what? We will hey, how you doing? Day 7 holds our fate. Ashi chews too much gum and dies from horrible stomach pains. Peggy shoots a poisonous blow dart into the neck of Ryo, slowly killing him. What can I say? Peggy's on a roll. Peggy's kind of been on fire for a minute, but will Peggy take the victory when it all matters? Who knows? But getting the victory in the free-for-all with every other OC falling beneath you, that's something to write home about. So after this, final terrible turnabout of the episode 4. Beta, Ashi, Ryu. That means it's time. It is indeed winner time, and your winner, as we see everybody's statuses. Oh, I guess I should also pay attention to points. That's points for Team Monokuma. Robo Research and Method of Violence. I believe that's yellow, Team Monosuke and Team Monotaro, correct? Team Monotaro there and Team yeah. Alright, perfect. Now that's in my mind, because I'll be tabulating those points real quick after I say that your winner. By now, I think you know her name. She's been a little bit of a strong competitor for a minute at this point. Has found herself a part of a couple tag teams, but this one she seems to be carrying on for the first team to make the bracket this season. Poetically, is the last team to win outside of championship action. Your winner, Peggy, from Davy Jones' Locker. And that is all she wrote. Our big OC free-for-all is over this season, and now we have all sorts of results before all the voting opens. Not today, but I'm gonna say will be open because I'm gonna give you guys a minute to get these votes in, because it's gonna be a fair number of votes this time around. We'll say Tuesday before I go. Tuesday, I guess for Tuesday v's upload for that series that we all know and love. That's Raincoat, there we go. Got the points right here in hand, but first and foremost, we gotta talk about our brackets, because this is where things kind of go crazy. First place, and we'll bring up the bracket real quick, was Peggy. However, they're already on the bracket, so in terms of tag team action, we see Robo Research join the bracket. We see Method of Violence join the bracket, and lastly, we see Forever Failures just barely joining that bracket as well. The last team outside of, you know, oh wait, I guess the winner of the free-for-all for both sides is also supposed to be like in the middle, but you know what? That may just be like a little whoopsie doodle day. Well, I guess we could add 4 people. What do we get if we add a 4th team? Who goes in if we add the 4th team? Our Agents of Chaos? Yeah, I suppose. I did leave the free-for-all spot in there. Yeah, sure. We'll add Dating App too. Which means we add another person for the singles bracket too. Which we had Setsushi, we had Sylvanos, and we had Pietro. But with that, I guess we will also add Alex. There we go. So you get like a special middle spot. And the special middle spot, I guess, goes to Ryu. In that case, Robo Research get the special middle spot for placing highest in the free-for-all, not already being on the bracket. And the middle spot goes to Satsushi for placing high enough in terms of singles. Good. I'll take that. That's a little neat. And who knows, maybe we'll see 2 more OCs, or an OC and an OC tag team join via the secret episode, because it's out there. You just have to find it. But that also brings us to our points, which dictates the other half of the bracket for singles action, which means you guys will be doing a lot of voting. We have, in first place, unsurprisingly, Team Monokid. Let's get that out of the way. After this episode, though, this is where things got so close, but because of Peggy, Team Monokuma just stole second. They were tied, they were tied for second, and Team Monotaro was right there with them. They also earned points this episode, but not enough. That win was enough to catapult them to 250. Team Monokuma takes second place. Team Monotaro takes third. In fourth place was Team Monosuke. Fifth place, Team Monodam. And last place was Team Monophony, who had a really, really cold streak for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 episodes, I think. Didn't earn like a single point. Unfortunate. I think that's the coldest streak we've seen in these games, because even Team Monosuke, who had like minimal points, did earn like little like 10s every once in a while and 15s, but like that cold streak, it'll do it to you. Last place Team Monophony, they do fall tragically there. But that's the points. That's the Dangan-lympics, and as you saw in the brackets, those teams will be earning a certain number of fan votes on both the singles OC and the singles regular brackets. So Team Monokuma, they'll earn big ol' 4 spots at the top. Team Monotaro, they'll earn 3 spots. Team I have to keep looking over. Who was third? I'm sorry, Team Monokid. Okay, yeah, now I was super duper confused. I was like, Team Monokid's definitely first. I just wasn't paying attention to them because, well, I kind of just, in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, they're the outlier. Team Monokid earns 4 spots. Team Monokuma earns 3 spots. Team Monotaro earns 2 spots. Every other team earns 1 spot, 1 vote, 1 shot. And we'll see which teams actually walk out as champions. That's what I also like to look for at the end of the season. But those will be coming, and technically you guys have an OC fan vote on both of the brackets. So keep that in mind too. And that is not derivative of essentially those cast. It's we'll see how I play it out. We'll see indeed. That being said, I digress. Let's go through everybody who's here. From top to bottom: Peggy, Ryu, Ashi, Beta, Satsushi, Hana, Sylvanos, Andy, Aurora, Pietro, Alex, Michi, Kyra, Stell, Dawn, Tigra, Natsuki, Joey, Yumeko, Lucas, Avi, and that's me, 21st. I don't know about you, but Shoosh is feeling 22. Barfa, Melody, Dorian, Lynn, Shiza, our OC champion Murasaki in 28th. Amber, Tingy, Verkle, Takuto, Katora, Saibigoyu, Nathan, Amon, Kitamura, Arya, Kono, Kiku, who will be technically going on to both singles finales, which is fascinating. Sumori, and I guess no, I don't know if did they make the tag team? Oh, they must have. Yeah. I was gonna say, I guess the our OC tag team champions technically make both brackets too, or both finales, tag team finales too. Regardless, Sumori, Rose, Kara, Sukhoi, Kino, Lena, Dave, Tsubasa, Felix, Yayoi, Pinto, Dimitri, Kagi, Eva, Randobot, JFJ, Natasha, Helsing, Yoko, Gentleman Timothy, the truest Pokemon gentleman and perhaps the only one, Jace, Iris, Panther, Momo, Kiyoshi, Kaslia, Legault, Ray, Blue Cotton Ball, Daruma, Isamu, Hiriko, Rion, Du, Valerian, oh, Romaz. You'll love to see Romaz, a tag team expert, but were you on the tag team bracket? You guys have seen it. I'll look later. Lamel. Actually, definitely was. Mika and Skyland, and that was our game. That was our OC season, and man, it was a blast. We'll proceed once again to start with Ashi taking out Skyland, one of my picks. Classic. You know, this was a real jinxing game for me, but we don't like to talk about that. We talk about Peggy taking the W for Davy Jones's locker. We'll proceed one more again. Check out the KOs. Amon and Stell with those super kicks at the start. They went wild and crazy, kids. Shiza with 5, Beta with 4, Alex, Andy, Ashi, Aurora, and Ryu, and Satsushi with 3. Everyone else with 2 or less. And that's how it goes. That's how the story ends. Davy Jones's locker in first place, Robo Research in second, and Method of Violence in third. Tag teams dominated the top 4, and I think that's very impressive. However, it's time to end this one. It's time to end our OC free-for-all. We are almost at finale season. Won't start this week because I'll be out. You might get some fun on those 2 days. There should be something still going up. It might be advancing other series like maybe a week. And by other series I mean it might be advancing like who knows? I'm not gonna promise anything. Time is running out, as they say, which who knows how that's going to play out in the future. However, we'll go back to the Reaping one more again. Congratulations to our free-for-all winners. Davy Jones's locker. Peggy is an OC to be watching. Could walk out as tag team champion. Has had some success in the past. Will we see that success go on? We'll see. And Michi, right there with her. Davy Jones's locker is a special team this season, but will they walk out as tag team champions? We'll find out soon. Until then, thank you for submitting. It is, and for all of you who are starting school soon, or already have, good luck. Have a fantastic year, and I'll see you for the OC finales very soon, probably in a week from this Thursday. Or, yeah, a week from this Thursday. Yeah, that sounds about right. Toodaloo, Flight Crew, as always, thanks for watching.